What's your name, lad? If I'm to hold a grudge, best to know the name.
I'm Cal. This is BD1.
My bantam old mum dubbed me Skoova Stev. Skoova the Fisher, am I?
You know, there's a fish tank down in Pyloon Saloon that could use some attention.
Pyloon Saloon? That'll have an infested watering hole down in your valley.
All right. Did I ask?
Ah, fine, twist my arm. I'll do it. Meet me at the saloon and we'll appraise this so-called tank.
Alright. Rumor is complete.
Let's see what we find up here.
There's the fish tank.
Ah, lad. Cast your eyes over this beauteous tank.
Glad you came around to it.
It didn't make a fetching first impression. I've a mind to give it a third scrubbing. Cleaning the filter, you'd think someone tried to cram a mollusk through a sieve.
Oh, can't unhear that. Thanks for the ride.
There you are.
Dang it.
Watch where you look, laddie. The frightful Rayfish is known to stun its quarry with a blinding flash of light.
I guess you have a plan, though, right?
Cal, you kindly lover. Sometimes I forget you're only half cooked around the gills. The Rayfish has attracted less kindly fishers, however. Once, I knew a noble who deigned to keep one as a pet.
Yeah.
Got her safely away. Oh, but the noble was nae so lucky. She paraded the Rayfish at a gala, and the guest of honor, a senator, lost her eyesight peering in the tank.
Blinded by greed, huh?
Ahoy, Cal!
Oh, hello there.
Isn't it a little dark down there for fishing?
A true fisher doesn't rely on the sun to do the seeing. A true fisher fishes with the mind. Sink your eyes on this.
Cool.
You're asking yourself, how in the deep did old Skoova know where the fishy was hiding? And what you don't know is that the Barbed Hookfish always travels northward.
How does it know which way's north?
Well, you see, it's equipped with a kind of define I bumped into it on my way down. But a true fisher knows that a pocket full of luck is more important than some cod migration pattern. Now for a story, if you've the time. So, you wish to prick up your ears and receive the tale of Skoova?
If you're sharing stories, we'll listen.
And you be a fool, my lad. My sordid tale will bring you nothing but grief and woe.
Okay, well, if you're not sharing stories, we'll...
Oh, fine, I'll tell you. At your own assistance, and at your own peril. My story begins in a small village on the frozen banks of Skoova Tar, my home world. Nights black as quillfish innards. Winters so cold, a stern look can turn you to glass.
Doesn't sound like the easiest place to grow up.
Difficult, aye. From the moment your mother's milk froze on your tongue to the moment you foundered upon frozen streets. You see, the fishes, they had the right of it. They dwelt far below the ice, where warm currents danced like ribbons in the wind. To fish so scarce a quarry, on account of the great fish famine, well, it's nae a mild undertaking. But for all me belly aching now, there's a peaceful enough life for a wee Sokavian with an instinct for the road.
So you discovered your talent early.
Such a talent was I, that as a lad, nae hardly spotted my first prickly chin hair. I was given an audience with Undone. But that be a tale for another time. Where were we? Ah, yes. By virtue of my prodigious fishing talents, I was taken to see the mysterious one they call Undone. I can see it still. Wee Skoova, ushered into yon black-mouthed cave. I could barely make out a figure glinting with moonlight. I scrubbed my eyes like a old tar scrubbing the deck. And there she was, a vast creature. Great tentacles blooming from her blubber, like cables gorging on a fuel tank. One of the tentacles twitched into the air, just over my head, and then, wham! Right on the noggin, so I'm told. I staggered out the cave like a lover first acquainted with the deck. But something else happened. I think when that fell tentacle struck me, Undone took something straight out to me brain and put something else in.
She put something in your brain?
Aye, boy. The subtle art of catching a fish. The art of focus. And in the dark, with nothing but the bristles on your chin for company, that focus is special. From that day forward, when I plunged my line into the frigid waters, it would emerge with a fish. 3 times out of 7.
That's less than half.
My village told me that I'd be the one to save them from the great fish famine. Little did I know that the grapnel was soon to arrive on our shores.
Gonna assume that's a bad thing.
Perhaps, lad. And perhaps not. But that'll be a story for another time.
Subscribe!
You do not belong on Jeddah.
It's the ghost! Run for your lives!
Watch your step, lad.
Have we walked in on another dangerous expedition?
Well, the feral Snakefish prefers the taste of crab, but would happily settle for your toe.
Are you sure all of this is worth the risk?
There's great beauty in peril, lad. And these noble beasts demand respect, you know. As you'll see. Click that yammer point. You gotta fear the fish.
Cute, I found him.
Did you nae heart my words?
I heard you. Not sure I understand, though.
'Tis the noise, lad. A fisher must be master of all the senses, eh? We're in the lair of the Fantailed LAA, the greatest smeller of things foul beyond the deep core.
Are you saying we smell foul?
You're no lethal peach. Ah, nae to worry. Being clever, I ken to apply the pungent musk of the Glottsam Crab to me suit. Oh, the old fishy won't know what hit him.
Get that fishy.
One of my fiercer quarries, but the law was no match for Skoova Steph and his potent aromas. I come to think, you contributed a few smells of your own to the melee. I owe you a debt of gratitude.
Don't mention it.
Catch you later, laddie.
No pun intended.
And, if you did rinse yourself off in the waters, I'd nae mind.
Ah, cool.
Go, lad.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Skoova.
Notice anything different?
Can't say I do.
Must see, laddie. It's a sparkle with grease. Now you may ask, Skoova, you old salt, have you lost your rudder? Are you planning to cook yourself into buttered chum?
The thought crossed my mind.
No, lad. I'll show you.
What you got there, lad? Blue-Finned Crayfish. Sweet.
You see that, lad? The Blue-Finned Crayfish is a fearsome warrior. Not just because its claws are sharper than the bristles on my lip, but also because it's as slippery as a sugar pea taking an afternoon dip. So, how do you fight slippery? By being muckle slippery yourself.
I'll remember that next time I'm in a bind.
Oh, I've only just begun, lad. If you've a moment, I'll continue my tale.
Sure, why not?
Where did we end? Ah, yes. The monstrous Captain went. His crew and myself fled aboard the pirate schooner of the filthy Zephyrs. Well, fast as the morning thaw, I could tell something was off. Wanyik, he wouldn't look me in the eye. Oh, and a dreadful stench was a-brewing his rotten beard. An augur of fate most ill. Wanyik took the helm, and with landing claws away, we flew to deep space, putting a few lifetimes between us and those pirates. We found ourselves afield of the Parlymian trade route. As soon as the captain took his hand off the yoke, he put it on his harpoon and gave me a look like a half-starved toucan iron sprat. Skoova, snarled the vile captain, you've gone as soft as an oyster's navel. If I couldn't trust you to spare a quarren with your blaster in your mouth, I couldn't trust you to skewer the great Skoova Fish. My hesitance to pull the trigger had me undone. In spite of my most rabid pleas, the captain jettisoned wee Skoova in an escape pod. The last thing I saw was his dread smile, crooked like a bayman's backbone. And so, my time aboard the grapnel met a briny end. Sitting alone in a pod, in deep space, with nothing but a tank of old cod and gash. I'll tell you more later, lad. The despair, ugh, the stench. It's enough to set my stomach a churn to this very day.
See that building, buddy? Guess someone does live here. Or did once.
Hey, there's our friend. Thank you.
How much do you think this is worth?
Nothing's worth crossing the raiders. Now move.
I'm not leaving you here. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. But we must find
Hello, laddie.
Hello, laddie.
Dangerous spot to catch a fish.
Nay, dangerous fish to catch a sport.
But
Sure.
Aye, that one slipped the line. But sarcasm is weak bait. Besides, I've gathered my focus for my quarry, the fearsome Glottsam Crab. One of my old crew, a mate on the grapnel, once tried to pluck a crab from the sea foam, when suddenly, wham! Overboard she went.
But is it even possible to smile and get it back on a unit like this? Well, not really. I bet I could find one. Very sad. That said, I'm afraid this one...
Glottsam Crab.
Where was I? Aye! She flopped overboard like a quillfish wriggling out of a tin. The crab yanked her in by the nostril. Sometimes you have to strike first, no?
Do you really believe that?
Flexible compass may not serve you on the roiling waves of Manan, but it does make the seas of the soul easier to brook, no? Stay a moment, and I'll regale you with the next chapter of my tale. So, you wish to hear of a time on the grapnel with the crew of the dread Captain Wanyik Wed?
Let's hear it.
Aye. My tenure began with quite a bump. The moment the grapnel hit orbit, her claxons began to sing. A barrack ship full of lawful types swam out to the stars and hailed us. What be the meaning of this? Growled our captain. We're simple fisher folk. Your transponder codes tell a different tale, came the reply. You be standing on stolen property, you do. Aye, you've rightful quarters, said the captain. Come on aboard, and I'll surrender what was stolen. But scarcely had the lubbers set foot on the deck of the grapnel, when wham! The captain's harpoon skewered them like a quailfish on a spit. No, you can't do that when you're running line, can you? Said the captain to me, grinning in his foulsome way. I'm sorry to say that I picked up the harpoon that black day. For years, I did not toss a fish back into the sea when I caught her. Well, that is until... blubbing you to death. I'll continue my tale soon, lad.
Stay safe, you hear?
Avast, you barbed... No, Pods. 'Tis only Carl.
I'd give anything to wield you.
Forgive the short greeting, lad. I'm always on edge when fishing for the Fingerlip Garpon.
What a name.
And fierce as they come. But that doesn't deter the poachers. The poor Garpon, despite its rarity, is a delicacy for the black of heart and the rumbly of belly. In we go!
Sweet.
Ah, did you see that beauty? 2 plump fins, a fine complement of glands, a scrumptious varicose tongue.
Fishing on an empty stomach, Skoova?
Hey, I can't succumb to the passions of the stomach. The Garpon must live. I'd better get me mind off it. Spin your tail. So, after years of searching for the great whale, I returned home to the frozen shores of Skoova, where my tale began. And this world on which I was weaned and warmed seemed but a moon to me careworn eyes. So small. I foot-slogged my way back to Undun's cave, but I found it empty, and somehow colder than I remembered. You know, lad, sometimes the truth brings peace, and sometimes it brings sadness. The fish is nae always what you thought it'd be when it bit the line. I dragged myself out of that cave and back to my village. And what I discovered next sent a spar through me thrice-pickled belly. All me kith and kin, old and bairn, ravaged by famine and cold. For none other than Captain Wanyik Wet had been fishing in their waters, sparing what few fish remained and taking them off-world. And so it was that I found myself once again in search of the dread captain and his crew. Not just for my own justice, but to liberate my very home. When we next speak, I'll tell you what became of my crusade.
Does anything make you happy?
Happiness is not relevant. However, defeating enemies is satisfactory.
Satisfactory? Well, close enough.
Stay your wandering boots, my lad, and answer old Skoova. Do I strike cutting fishermen?
Not sure what you mean.
Me appearance, lad. Does it warm your shallows? Does it put a sea spray on your face?
You look nice.
You look nice, Skoova.
Let's hope the Frilled Newt agrees, laddie. I'll have to muster all my seaward charms if I'm to lure it into my grasp.
Nice. Got another fish. Got myself a new newt. Oh.
Seems it liked you.
Aye. Oh, nae surprised. It is a great talent of mine. You see, the Frilled Newt is the most sensual of sea folk. Skittish, except when it spies a potential mate. Hence my great vanity on this day. It is a shame to deceive him, but I can offer a quiet home in my tank as a recompense.
Sounds fair to me.
Now, shall we continue my tale?
Sure.
So we return to my time on the grapnel. Against the protestations of my heart, I forsook the rod and line for the harpoon. For years, we trawled the outer rim, spearing every fish that happened across our path. Talented as I was, I speared more fish than the rest of the crew, put together. Fool as I was, I didn't have the wisdom to be ashamed. The dread Captain Wanyak Wet took notice. He showered me in brevets, gave me the best of catches, and scarcely a year after I left Skoova Tar, I became his first mate. Shortly after my promotion, we were on our way to Manan to sell the carcass of a goober fish. But, wham! Just as we dove out of hyperspace and the great ocean world streaked into view, so did she. The most glorious creature I've ever beheld. A whale of marvelous proportion. Swimming through Manan's orbit like it was nothing but an easterly current back home. I was transfixed.
No kidding. How close did you get?
Funny you should ask. I didn't have long to set my eyes abulge before he crashed headlong into her. The grapnel bounced off her like chum off flotsam. We plummeted down to the ocean, sundering the grapnel on the sea floor, where a gang of pirate quarren were holed up. The filthy Zephyrs. We swam out to the ribbon hull and found ourselves surrounded by quarren, demanded all manner of things, including our bounty of fish. So, away we swam, Captain Wet, the crew, and myself. But, blind as we were at such depth, we shortly ran into a dead end, finding ourselves surrounded by quarren. Find me again, and I'll continue the tale.
Sounds good. There.
So Skoova, back to your story. Were you actually marooned in deep space by Captain Wet?
Aye, lad. There I sat, tummy a-rumble, gazing out at the void. My somber reflection staring back from the porthole. Was it hours? Years? Neither would faze me. But I do recall this. After a term most interminable, there she was, like a bowsprit cutting through a crest. The great space whale, still sporting the grapnel's imprint on her side, emerged from a parted void. Aye, even now it brings the salt to my eyes. Her great blubbery undulations tossed me pod through the stars like a goose-winged skiff. The stars swirled about like 100,000 fishes, until suddenly I saw a planet below. There my pod crashed, and there I was rescued by kindly locals. I had been saved by this marvelous creature from the depths of space. I tried searching for her. Alas, to no avail. She eluded me for years before I packed my satchel and headed home for Skoova Tar. Most didn't believe what I'd seen. They say she was not but the terminal spasm of a starving salt's brain. But I know what I saw, lad. I know what I saw. Of course, when I returned home, things were not as I remembered them. But that be a tale for another time. Ken, you couldn't stay away. You didn't forsake the sea spray once it's missed in your gums.
I guess not.
You're the aspect of a fisher, lad. And, lucky for you, we're perched just above the lair of the sea fish.
Sea fish, huh?
That's right. An impossible catch. No fisher in the right mind would pursue such a quarrelsome foe. No fisher, but Skoova's Stev.
Cool, got a sea fish. Alright, hello, sir.
Come on! Oh, you're in for a treat.
Hello, Skoova.
What are you fishing for?
I'm hunting the ferocious Mee. Did you know the Mee was the very first fish we Skoova caught?
That must have been quite a day.
Aye, I was barely yay-high back then. Little Skoova swam headlong into the creature's mouth.
Mee Fish.
But, lucky as I was, I couldn't digest me before fishing fellows pulled us out.
Sounds more like it caught you.
Aye, it takes me back. Stick around, boy, and I'll top us off with a tail.
Alright.
Aye, our story nears its end. I discovered that Captain Whit was plundering my very home seas for exotic fish, and in the process, starving the old tars who raised me from a wee yoke. I spent many months in search of them. At long last, I discovered them on the salted shores of the third moon of Antine. I hied to Antine and trucked me foe to the Garacus Trench, a fissure sliced clean through the moon's heart. There, amongst the brine and black, I found him. Wanya Whit and his vile crew, surrounded by glumbering eels, spearing them with their harpoons. "Captain," I cried, "you've broken your promise never to harvest the seas of Skoova Tar." And I said, "Your command be forfeit if you dinna forswear my home waters." Oh, I'll scarce forget the snarl he issued as he turned to me, slow as a frozen reef, regarding me after years of thinking me dead. "This," he growled, "is why you dinna toss the fish back into the sea." Before I could shake my flippers, the barb of his harpoon spun through the deep, and its hook pierced me in the chest. My juices filled the water, and as my vision grew dark, I espied Wanyek, smiling sharp as a fang.
That's horrible, Skoova.
I told you, lad, that mine be a dark tale. I'll tell you more when next we meet.
Alright. Okay, so we're right here on the map. Hello, sir.
Now, ahoy! Step tender, lad. This one's a rare catch indeed.
What is it?
The fabled Farfish. Its tail is one riven with greed, soaked to the bone with tragedy. There are scant few far left on account of their succulent glands. But I do not intend to harvest the poor creature for its organs.
Sweet.
I intend to bring it back to the saloon, where I might one day find a meat for it.
Playing matchmaker, huh? You found another fish before?
No. But fishing's about leaving the world better than you found it. A ripple's only as good as the stone you cast. Now for a tale, lad. So there I was, deep in the Garacus Trench, Wanyek's harpoon drilled through me paunch, watching the lights fade from my own eyes. The dread captain peeled his whiskers from his teeth and grinned a most ghastly grin, when suddenly I saw the glumbering eels a-swirl. It seemed that, in the midst of my distraction, they'd taken flight. It dawned on me. I recalled to me mind the great meeting call of the eels, my last hope. So, rousing my final gasp of air, I sounded their shrill cry.
What happened?
Well, lad, I'll tell you. The eels swarmed in an electric blaze. The dread crew scattered, and Wanyek, that damned Wanyek, that dread captain, was cooked like an evening quillfish. As the eels smote him into the deep, I felt consciousness run out to my ears. Darkness fell upon me. When I awoke, well, find me again, and I'll conclude my tale. Laddie, look at this! The tank is a bustle! A veritable fishing colony!
Think there's room for more?
Aye, but though it brings a tear to my eye, I fear we may be reaching capacity. Too many more, and old Skoova won't be able to wet his flippers without slapping the fishing. I'll see you out in the wide world, laddie. The hunt continues. Ah, boy.
Yeah, I found him. Awesome. Okay, so the last fish from Skoova is right over here. Item. Oh, you want to go diving yet?
Skoova, hey, what's waiting beneath the surface this time?
These strange climes have a most mysterious resident, the Viscid Lurker. They love to nestle into the cozier reaches of the sea, but they're not too cozy for Skoova Step.
Nice, I think.
Scuba diving. Awesome.
Ha ha! Got it! You know, I was famed for my lurker catching talents. Oh, and lad, I know what you'll say. Skoova, you were only prized for your skill in catching them on account of your wee stature. And I might be right. But you can no more fit a basilisk in a lurker's lair than an oyster in a thimble.
Sounds right to me.
Can I interest you in a tale?
Sure.
When I awoke from my last duel with Wanyak, it was on the deck of a fishing schooner. It seemed my speared carcass had bogged to the surface and been caught by a local fisher.
What about Captain Wet? Did he survive?
If that sack of seared slime yet plagues the galaxy, I've nae heard stem the stern of him, nor of his crew. Perhaps more importantly, the ordeal awoke me to the truth. I had no desire to spear fish, nor fisher. I had no desire to cross harpoons with dread captains, or to skewer the deadliest fish. In the hurly-burly of it all, I lost sight of myself. The fisherwoman who caught me, she knew of a nearby world with a great multitude of fishes. Kobo. So to Kobo did I go. And since, I've realized why I like to fish.
Why's that?
Because I like fish, Cal. I like shiny fish. I like big fish and small fish. I like fish with eyes splayed wide and fish with eyes pointed straight. I even like fish with no eyes at all. And I like seeing the face on lubbers like you when they realize just how many kinds of fish there are in this galaxy. Well, that be my tale, Cal. Perhaps it was no as gloomy as I kid.
You went through a lot. I'm glad you're okay, Skoova.
Oh, thank you, lad.
Thank you. You've given me a lot to think about.
Aye, lad. Go ahead and ponder. But don't ponder your years down the river. There's always another fish. Lad, you're all right. Oh, what a burden off our wee shoulders.
Were you worried?
Well, I just had the most loathsome encounter with one of those battle droids. I wanted they might have found you too.
What happened?
The metal beast told me to present my tribute to the Bedlam Raiders. Woe betide any lubber who dares to steal a fish from Skoova Step.
Did you get into a fight with a battle droid?
No, they took leave of me spot. Perhaps they were frightened by my crude gestures, eh?
I'm glad you're okay, Skoova.
Keep an eye out, Cal. There'll be strange folk in these waters. I tell you, lad, that metal shark in the sky is giving me splinters from head to toe.
I'm no fan of Star Destroyers either.
Do they know that fishes need sunlight to grow ruddy and strong?
Not sure wildlife preservation is on the Empire's list of priorities.
Oh, I'll be on their list of priorities soon enough.
Easy, Skoova.
All right. I'll let him off the hook for now. Oh, lad, I've a powerful itch on my back. If only it weren't covered by my suit.
You could take off your suit.
Oh, thinks he's clever. Well, lad, what if I wanted to go swimming? Then what would I do with no suit?
You could put it back on.
Nobody likes a know-it-all, lad.
Okay.
Lad, I've a matter of grave importance to discuss. I fear, on account of me helm, that you've got the impression that I depend on my suit for breathing.
I hadn't given it too much thought.
I could hold my breath for ages.
Oh, okay. Got it.
you didn't believe me. Fine, I'll prove myself.
You really don't have to.
Here I go. Hold my breath in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, very impressive. You don't have to do this, you know. See you around, Skoova.
Well, lad, we've done it. A tank thrown in with the finest fish. A tale told to the utmost. An innocent young boy's eyes opened to the wide galaxy.
Something like that. What's next for you?
I've been asking myself just that. In recounting my infamous annals, I've been... something's gnawing at my innards, lad. A black notion that perhaps, just perhaps, one Wit isn't truly dead. For Sakavitar and for my own peace, I must know. Perhaps it'll be tomorrow. Perhaps a year from tomorrow. But I fear I must pursue my dread nemesis one last time.
I understand. Hey, if you ever need anything.
I know, lad. I know.
There you go, my full fish tank. All 12 fish are collected. All 12 fish have been collected. That'll wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, have a smashing day.